Any views or opinions expressed on KUR are not necessarily those of Kutztown University, Kutztown University Student Government, Kutztown University Student Services Incorporated, KUR staff and management, or other affiliated organizations.
Hello.
Welcome
Good
aboard.
evening.
You are riding the Paranormal Express.
Here live on the radio, not live, sorry, pre-recorded, but listening now on the radio voice of Kutztown University.
We've ever stated that this is
KUR.
pre-recorded.
What? I don't think we ever have. Yes. If you didn't know, this is pre-recorded. Unfortunately, there is no feasible way that we have currently in our situation
It's not spooky enough.
to it's not. Pre-recording is pretty spooky.
Friday at 8 p.m.?
Yeah.
Not spooky enough.
The show is pre-recorded. We tried getting the facilities to put live streaming capabilities into our train car, but it is not going over well with the conductor. He's trying. He's actually helping us out with this. He really loves supporting his station of alma mater, Kutztown University Radio.
You wouldn't believe it by looking at him, though.
No, you wouldn't. Yeah.
You just think he's a walking corpse.
Yeah. When he's
glowing
passionate,
bits.
it's interesting.
You
when
ever
he
play
gets
those
passionate.
Fallout games? It kind of looks like a ghoul.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, the glowing ones.
Specifically the glowing ones. Aren't they literally called the glowing ones?
Yes.
Yeah. I was gonna say, this makes sense.
Speaking of Fallout, I could go into that topic. That wasn't the one I was going to start with, though.
That's fine.
Get your tinfoil hats.
Yeah, make sure. I hope you guys have some Reynolds wrap or sorry, that's a brand. We're not allowed to say that. Tinfoil. I hope you have some foil
That's why I said
standing
tinfoil
by
hats.
with the little. Don't they also add a little? They either twist up the top, or I've seen they put a coat hanger, like the wire hangers through it too.
Yeah, I don't
stuff like that.
know why they do
I think
that.
it's because you used to be able to use a wire hanger as an antenna for your TV. If you just
Yeah.
wrapped the antenna cable around
Yeah,
it,
you used
stuck
to
it
be
up.
able to.
So, I guess even though I feel like that'd make it
I
attract
feel like that-
signals. Yeah, wouldn't that make it?
Yeah,
that turns you into a satellite.
that gets rid of the purpose.
I
of
don't
the
know. These guys are
tinfoil.
crazy. Anyway, the reason we're bringing up tinfoil hats is we're going to be talking about some aliens today. That's right. Paranormal is not only limited to the myth and fiction we talk about, nor the ghosts and ghouls, but also the extraterrestrial beings.
That's exactly why I wanted to go with the word paranormal specifically.
Yeah.
That instead of like Phantom Express or something like that.
Yeah.
I didn't want to limit us to ghosts.
Or ghost train. Yeah, no. We're paranormal is
We're
all
a
things.
UFO now.
Yeah. We're paranormal train, Star Cruiser,
We're
if you will.
like the speaking of another video game, we're like the star people from Starbound.
Yes.
They have
yeah.
train spaceships.
It's all based on they're called the Nova, right?
Yeah,
Or
Nova.
something. Yeah,
Nova
they're called
kids.
the Nova
Nova kids or
because
Nova
they're like
kids.
literally like people.
They're cowboys.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So we're gonna be talking about a few phenomena that have happened, or myself specifically. I took up a few topics that are like events in history and unexplainable UFOs that have happened in real life, first accounts and also debunks of debunking evidence of some of those events. And Jake, I believe you had a few.
I have a trope. I have a doomsday event that never came to pass.
Mhm.
And then a hoax, like, well, not hoax necessarily, although I think this one has turned out to be a hoax, or it's believed to be by most people who study this stuff. And then I have a sort of cryptid, or at least I thought it was a cryptid, but apparently it's an alien.
Okay. That's actually interesting because I think there are some forms of media where we do see a monster, believed to be a monster, turned into an alien, or vice versa, and things. So perfect transition. You said something pertained to Fallout. What was that? What was your...
Oh, that's the cryptid.
Okay.
It's called the Flatwoods Monster. It's a if you've played, it's this. It's part of the West Virginia folklore, similar to Mothman.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is from West Virginia. It's from Point Pleasant, I'm pretty sure.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, they have a statue as soon as you enter
Yep.
like the town limits.
This one has a thing memorializing this monster as well, even though it's sort of been debunked to an
Okay.
extent, kind of. Some people probably still believe in it, which is fine. They could be right. But this, the Flatwoods Monster, it takes place in West Virginia. This incident happened in, try to find the exact date here. September 12th, 1952. There was a bright object that could be seen flying over the night sky. Later, that was found out to be a meteor, or believed to be a meteor. But people suspected that they could see this monster in the trees after this light had passed, and they believed that it was this alien creature that had dropped or had landed and was going to torment them, basically. It was three people, two brothers, Edward and Fred May, and their friend Tommy Hire, who saw the object and reported it. Apparently they saw it land on the local property of a farmer.
It's always a farm.
Of course it is.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they have the most amount of land.
There
at
isn't
one
much in West Virginia to begin with,
point. No, yeah.
and that's not an attack on West Virginia. That's just the
This
truth.
is naturally what's happening. Yeah,
Which
I mean,
a
it's
lot of
just-
people like it for that reason.
Yeah,
which is fair.
it's natural.
There's a lot of mountains. That's what I like about West Virginia, the mountains. But the reference to Fallout, I was going to get to that actually, is in Fallout 76, love it or hate it, there's this monster is in it because it takes place in West Virginia,
Oh,
along with Mothman.
that's always nice when they incorporate things that are
Fallout does
relevant. Yeah, I don't think there is a Fallout game that doesn't incorporate. I mean,
Yeah.
they're based on realistic
Mhm.
landscapes.
I don't know what there is in Fallout 4, but I do know that they have like Lovecraftian references, but they do that throughout all of their games.
Yeah, of course.
So
Because it's just, I mean, purest form of horror, right? Is OG.
I mean, that's why
Lovecraft.
in like the Elder Scrolls series, there's Mehrunes Dagon.
Yeah.
That's a reference to that name. At least is a reference to
Mhm.
Lovecraftian entity. Called
also-
Dagon, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah. So yeah, they eventually these three men or guys, I don't know how old they are. They went to a magazine, of course, and they reported to this writer who apparently wrote about UFOs and just kind of gave him a description of the creature. And so his description, the writer, is apparently that the creature was about 10 feet or 3 meters tall, had a round, blood-red face, a large, pointed, hood-like shape around the face, eye-like shapes which emitted greenish-orange light, and a dark black or green body, which easily could have just been because it was dark out. I don't know how the lights are necessarily explained, if those are true, but the dark black or green body could have been because of it being, nighttime. But many describe the creature as having like claws or claw-like hands, and a head that resembles the Ace of Spades.
The Ace of Spades.
I think that might, hint at to what this creature probably was.
Yeah. Also, the hood, and the
Yeah.
color
I'm
of the
looking at
face.
an image of it right now.
Oh yeah.
He's right there, staring at me. It's just interesting. I guess I'll just give it away right now. The monster was probably a barn owl.
Mm-hmm. How
It's-
big do barn owls get?
Huge. They get pretty big. I don't think the size was. They made it look larger. They do get big, but I don't think they don't get 10 feet big.
No, they don't.
They think that it was like the lighting and the shadows made it look bigger than it actually was. But it's just interesting because if you look through folklore, there's various creatures. Like we've talked about the Strix before on this show, and that was also believed to be an owl. And that was an ancient Greek or Roman monster.
Yeah.
It's very interesting that owls are often made out to be these monsters. Although I don't think people actually think owls are them. It's just the owls' habits.
Yeah,
make them into
because they're
this.
nocturnal birds, so they're always at
People
night.
aren't actually afraid of the owl itself. They're afraid of the effects of the owl.
Yeah,
And that's
the
what
image,
becomes
the sounds they make, they are scary. I mean, screeching owls, jeez.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's interesting.
but it's very that was they've done studies on this like throughout time, but in 2000 that's when like since it happened obviously since the 1950s. In 2000 that's when they started studying it and concluded that the object was a meteor. And I think it was soon thereafter they were like, yeah, it was probably an owl, given the description. I don't know how you describe the lights, but maybe it was from the fire or something. Something was burning. Oh, there
Could be a fire, could be a reflection from the eyes.
Sorry, I just want to find.
I think the one thing I could think of is the reflection of the eyes, because there's a lot of animals that have UV sensitive eyes, and they were very reflective. You see that.
That's why you see dogs that have like glowing red eyes at night when you flash like a camera on them and stuff.
Yeah, because you're literally, you can see to the back of their eye and it's bouncing back because that's how they receive all that extra light, that more sensitive light spectrum like UV light.
Yeah, I'm trying to find this specific.
They're not
part of this
completely
that I
able to
read
see in the
earlier.
dark, but they can see much better. And I looked it up. Barn owls are usually only about 20 inches in length, which is pretty big. But then like
For an owl,
4
for
foot.
most birds, that's pretty big.
Yeah, with a 4 foot wingspan, which is pretty.
Yes.
That's pretty decent.
Where is it? I'm pretty okay. I might
These
just have to
great
talk
horned
from my
owls are
memory
the real big ones.
because I can't. Oh, here it is. Okay. The group had said that they smelled a pungent mist in their description to the local sheriff. And some later said they were nauseated in their description to the writer, actually, not the local sheriff. This is a different bit. So yeah, they were the sheriff and deputy had been like discovering the crashed aircraft in the area, and that's when they saw and smelled nothing, is what the sheriff and deputy had concluded.
Okay.
Not that the people who gave the account, themselves in their investigation, when they searched the site of where it was. But apparently the next day, another person went and looked at the site and found skid marks and a gummy old deposit. But on that note,
Oh, okay.
I think we need to move on to a message from the conductor. From the KUR notebook, attention KU community. The trans and non-binary support group meetings will be held every other Monday starting February 7th. This group is for folks who identify with this community only. Email us for information on time and location, RSVP via email, and for more info, email LGBTQ resource center at kutztown.edu. This message is brought to you by the radio voice of Kutztown University, KUR.
Gotcha. Today.
Okay.
Is this live? Yeah. I mean, they can hear it. They know.
Okay.
I'm just addressing the elephant in the room. Anyway, that is fascinating about how owls just appear as these like revered creatures. Wisdom. And
With the symbol in
symbols.
ancient Greece specifically, there's a symbol of Athena.
Yeah.
That's
It's
all I
probably their eyes. Usually, the belief that, but especially because of how far they can dilate their pupils and stuff, they think that they can like see into, the future and all that. Anyway, it's fascinating how easy it is. I mean, especially if you're seeing something at night, you're always going to be a little bit misguided as to what it is if you can't immediately make note of it. And that is always what feeds into our terror as humans, is not being able to see. I mean, it's a carnal, primal fear to have because of how we used to be foragers and hunters and be afraid of things at night.
Isn't that a thing that like animal predators have eyes on like the front and rather than on the sides?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
It also helps them see better in focus, of course, as well, so that they can make attacks.
that's all I had on the flatwood monster.
All right. So I'm going to get into a little fun little bit. I don't know if there's any Ghost Adventure fans listening to this show. I mean, it is called Paranormal Express. Maybe you've heard of them before. This story kind of became a little bit more known in the public eye once they had investigated. The location is called Stardust Ranch, and it's out in Rainbow Valley, Nevada. Now, this ranch is home to John Edmonds and his wife, and it's a 3-acre lot of farmland, particularly for horses and other forms of cattle. And there's not much history to be found about the house. You know, usually all these haunted places have history to them, and for some reason that's why there are spirits there. But this place actually isn't even haunted by normal spirits. It's aliens. Apparently it's a very, very common meeting ground for alien species, particularly our favorites. The most common image of a
Gray men.
Yes, the gray men.
Oh, the gray ones. Okay. Gray ones are what those ones are called. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now, of course, the most common image of an alien is like the gray man, the big bulbous head with the black eyes. Excuse me.
Well, there's also the green version of that.
Yes, yeah, that's true. There's a lot of that.
Yes.
Of course, if you look up Grey's right now, you're probably going to get Grey's Anatomy first. But
Let's find out.
the gray alien, extremely common. You know, you see it in a lot of movies.
I did get Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah, exactly. You know, the cover of a lot of X-Files, and then you got Mission to Mars, and then you got more of the horror ones have grays, I would say. A lot of the more sci-fi fantasy adventure movies have a lot more colorful aliens and more different ranges, but like grays in most forms seem to be the most common. I'm not going to sit here and just talk about grays because, you know, we're all fairly familiar if you know anything about an alien or artistic depiction of an alien. This Stardust Ranch, apparently for over 20 years, this man has been just put through hell with his experiences with many different alien and even actually there is a little bit about him noticing that there's a demon there too. Apparently.
Did you do the thing with that? I won't spoil what the thing is, but unless you want to mention it.
With what?
With the demon.
No, he didn't.
Because isn't this the guy that's known for, you know?
Yeah, he didn't do that with the demon. No.
Damn.
And I'm about to get into that for sure. But yeah. Apparently there's a mixture of extraterrestrial activity and paranormal activity happening in the house, which is just the perfect storm for what in the world is going on in this man's life. So the reason I bring this up.
Go.
Okay, so this man on this ranch has experienced a lot of extraterrestrial activity. Particularly in the fact where he has done something I have never heard of a person on the face of this planet doing before. We hear lots of reports from many different onlookers of different UFO activity, gray aliens, abductions. This man fought gray aliens. He actually owns a katana, you know, the most popular Japanese samurai sword.
A katana.
Yeah, with a nice black and white hilt.
I have one of those.
And he actually claims to have killed one. There's a picture you can find on his Facebook page, and it's something we're actually going to post. We're going to have to put a violence warning on it because it is bloody. It's actually, there's red blood, you know, not the green, gray, or transparent blood that you might know of some aliens to have. It looks like real red blood. And the sword laying in the pile of it where he had slain one.
Oh, this is the kind of man who would do that. Oh, what? I can see the. Oh, that's the picture. It's the picture of the katana.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought there was gonna be an actual alien there.
No, that's the thing. You know, I think he came up with an excuse, saying that its comrades had come back and taken the body away. I believe it's either that or there was another one where where its body would just like turn into light and disappear, almost like respawning in a video game or something.
He sold the ranch?
Yeah. So apparently he finally did. I have no idea who it went to, and I think that would be a great way to actually finish this off. But if you have that, that'd be great. I'll get to that in a second.
But I see
Okay.
it.
Because he's been trying to sell that ranch for years. It's apparently on the market worth about $5 million.
He sold it for $6.5 million.
Wow. Okay. So his original asking price was 1.7. Then that Ghost Adventure show came out, and he raised it to 5, and then now that was 6 because that was back in 2017. But so he's had many different encounters. He posted pictures of wounds on his calf that he said he had received from fighting these grays off with a mixture of weapons. I still think the katana is the coolest. But also reports of his wife levitating out of the bed in their master bedroom and into the parking lot, where it tried to abduct her, lift her into a craft that was parked over their estate, until he fought off a few of them and then retrieved her. But apparently this has been a very common thing. He himself was never actually like investigated because, I mean, obviously they probably fear him at this point if his claims of fighting them off is actually true. So very interesting thing about that. I actually do recommend watching that Ghost Adventures episode. As cheesy and corny as the show is, it's fascinating to see this man talk about it. And, you know, they actually humor him for most of it because Zach Baggins himself is a really good host when it comes to, like, accepting people's stories. So that was just a little interesting tidbit. But it is about time that we do give you guys a little bit of break and some messages we have to send your guys' way. Of course, this is how we keep the lights on here in our humble little cabin. So you listen to the radio voice of Kutztown University, KUR.
End your weeks off right with rare vibes from 6 to 7 on Friday. Playing everything from rock
Pleased to meet you. Hope you guess my name.
to indie
And unforgiving, ruled by the vibe I'm bringing, serving.
to hip hop. All this and more only on the radio voice of Kutztown University, KUR.
It's hard for me to talk about, but I remember I was late for work and I was speeding. Then I saw the car and I hit the car, and at that point I just remember everything in slow motion, the car wrapping around me, and I kept thinking to myself, this is it, I'm going to die. Instead, I'm in the hospital. I'm going home tomorrow. But the hardest part with all this is with Andy. He doesn't look me in the eye anymore. He just kind of pats me on the hand. He probably knows that I know that he's going to leave me, and I can see that in his face just as clearly as I can see what I've done to mine.
Speeding gets you nowhere fast. A public service message brought to you by this station and the U.S. Department of Transportation.
All right.
Welcome back, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. You're now back on board the Paranormal Express here on the radio voice of Kutztown University, KUR. If you're just joining us, want to know what the topic is for today, we're talking about aliens. Good old-fashioned tinfoil hat. Not necessarily getting into conspiracy theories yet, but, like, you know, to talk about real-life encounters and existences, maybe different forms of aliens, and even misconceptions of common creatures turned alien. So, I was just talking about Stardust Ranch, really fascinating story about John Edmonds and his property in which he has literally performed a battle with aliens.
Did you say it like that on purpose?
Yeah, I did, kind of.
Battle.
It kind of made me slip into it, maybe because we're talking about a ranch down in Arizona. But crazy stuff. Used that there samurai sword to slay him some aliens. There's also a novel that's available on Amazon that you can pick up about it, and I'm actually into it myself. There's also an audiobook. It's free. Oh no, it's an Audible trial thing. Never mind. Not sponsored, but that I'm actually interested to listen. So you guys can check that out. Apparently he sold the ranch. We saw that in the post, but that's probably private knowledge. I don't know if we're ever going to find out who, because not many people care. But Fascinating stuff. So what do you have for us next?
I have, since we mentioned these aliens and you were talking about the Greys, I said when you were talking about the most famous depiction, because I think the most famous depiction is the green version of them, which is called the Little Green Men.
Okay, yeah.
So it's a stereotypical portrayal of extraterrestrials, so this is more of a trope than an actual historical depiction, but it comes from historical things, or at least cases. So it sort of stems from reports of flying saucers in the 1950s, of course, because that's when Roswell happened and everything. The term "little green men" came into like popular use around the time, and there were in like multiple cases. But one classic case that's cited here is the Kelly Hopkinsville sighting in 1955.
Mm-hmm.
This was in Kentucky. 2 rural men in the area described a supposed encounter with a metallic silver, somewhat humanoid-looking aliens, which from that description it seems like they're not green, but humanoid-looking aliens no more than 4 feet tall in height, employing journalistic license and deviating? Sorry, I don't know that word very well. Deviating. That's the... Wow. All right. Yeah, this just goes into another account, apparently. That's where that one ends for some reason. It's just, it's just getting into the idea. I don't know why it says that it describes them as metallic silver when this is supposed to be about little green men, though. It is raining right now.
I guess maybe if there's reflectiveness in them, they may appear green.
Maybe they had like what's the term when a car has like metallic but it's like black and green or black and like red?
Like a pearlescence on it. Yeah. So like when light is reflected in a different, it's like it has grain in it, and so the grain, the other side of the material reflects a different color as the sun hits it differently. Yeah.
I don't need to read that part.
It's like when the sky turns yellow after a storm.
Yeah.
Perfection.
Yeah, but that's basic. Like, it doesn't really go into much here. It just goes into different uses in, like, popular culture. Like Yoda in Star Wars, obviously, because he's a little green man.
Yeah,
but
literally.
he looks like a goblin and not an alien.
Yeah, the large ears and the grotesque features, wrinkles, definitely feels more goblin-like.
Yeah. Apparently in a Star Trek episode, there's...
I believe there's a brand.
Yeah, there's a little green man from Alpha Centauri.
Okay.
Alpha Centauri is an often cited alien.
Yes.
Place.
Absolutely. There's also, I know there's been clothing brands in the past.
Apparently there's a Pokemon.
Yeah, Elgium.
Yep.
Elgium, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's LGM.
LGM, okay, yeah. It's ELGYEEM or something
yes,
like that.
I know why
crazy.
you called it that for sure, but it's meant
phonetically
to be LGM,
that's what it looks like. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna bicker about it.
This is what this is about, actually. That's
Yeah.
what this page is about. Oh, Invader Zim also, of course.
Oh, classic. Oh, absolutely.
Cybermen from Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Oh, of course, and like a really popular game from like years ago, Destroy All Humans.
Oh my gosh, they got remastered recently.
It did.
Yeah, that was definitely one of those really weird, fun games to play.
Kind of like Burnout, where you just go around destroying things.
Yeah. My favorite personally is Tornado Jockey.
Of course, the Squeeze toy aliens from Toy Story as well.
Oh yeah, the claw. Yeah. Oh man, that's the throwback. It's just so common. I don't know like what it is about green that does it. Maybe it's just the sickly appearance. It's so opposite us.
Yeah.
And
even
just
gray. Like gray I feel is a little more normal.
Yeah.
But
people can have gray skin, literally, like pigment depletion and stuff from like low blood and anemia, things like that. Low blood, like low blood cell count.
I personally associate like neon greens more with ghosts, but I cite that to watching Danny Phantom as a kid.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that's just what I associate like ectoplasm and stuff with. Although we should do an episode on that because I don't know what ectoplasm
that is
really
interesting because my favorite form of ectoplasm. We're going off on a tangent, but that's fine. Whatever. We're still talking paranormal. In A Haunting in Connecticut, on the cover of the cases that like almost got pulled from shelves, there's the medium that's doing a channeling, but instead of channeling a spirit and just acting like it, it's literally he's like projectile vomiting a this like almost like it has lightning in it, this gray material that's coming out, and that's like ectoplasm. And it's such an interesting take on the idea of it, because it's ectoplasm's like a physical manifestation that doesn't have a form but is a spirit.
I usually I see it depicted as like a goo.
Yeah, it's usually, I mean, like a Slimer from Ghostbusters. Yeah, he slimed me.
Back to Fallout, the glowing ones.
Yeah.
I think they spew goo. I don't know
Yeah,
what it actually
I mean,
is. I
that's
think it's
such
just
a common.
radioactive
Yeah,
stuff.
probably.
I don't
yeah.
think they've ever described it.
But yeah,
they do.
green men. Yeah, definitely. You know, I did say grays were very popular.
They
but-
are very popular.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that's the original, was the gray men, and then it got turned into green men because someone misreported it.
Yeah, and it's funny how that stuff snowballs, and that's something we like to talk about a lot on the show here at Paranormal Express. We like to talk about
I
how
was
like
trying to find that story originally. 'cause I
historic
know the
culture
story.
just like snowballs ideas into like commonplace, and then that becomes part of our culture.
It's very interesting how culture develops. Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's very interesting. It can, like, I think aliens is probably the best topic to like examine that, because it's so recent.
yeah.
At least
I
relatively.
really want to know. Like, we're probably gonna revisit aliens because there's just too much.
There is.
There's too much. I would love to look at other countries and other cultures' idea of aliens.
I wonder if they
because-
had the same like alien like burst of stuff in popular culture at the same time, like in the 1950s.
Yeah, I mean that's when cosmic horror got really popular.
I just remember there's actual aliens in Fallout as well.
Yeah.
They're called Zeta, and which gets into another one of my
Yeah,
topics, but
that's Fallout 4. You can go on to the alien spacecraft
By
thing.
the way, we're at 30 minutes.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just wanted to let you know.
What was I?
But that's, yeah, because that's basically all my topic is.
Yeah.
It just goes into popular culture about little
It
green
is.
men.
It is actually really important to note the 50s, definitely, because
Oh,
that's
yeah.
when cinema
That's when
started taking
Roswell
over.
happened as well.
That's when cinema starts taking over as well. There are a lot of monster movies that have an origin from space. Like The Blob is such a classic, and it oozes out of a space rock that
Because
falls
that's
out of
also
the
when
sky.
the space race was happening.
Yeah. So there's a fascination with looking up.
I mean,
That's-
granted, we didn't get to the moon until 1969, I believe.
Yeah, late 60s. But we definitely got more and more fascinated with how space was going because technology was booming and all that. So, okay.
Good time to have gum in your mouth when you're about to do your topic.
Yeah.
Or well, there wasn't gum. But yeah.
It was, my gummy bears, dude. I can't live without my ghost gummies. All right.
Your ghoul gum.
My ghoul gummies, dude.
Your
That's a
Ghoulie
great
bears.
brand name. Absolutely.
Should start
Okay.
a candy company.
So I'd like to talk about one of the more recent and most popular interactions with extraterrestrial experiences and phenomena, and that's the Phoenix Light. Now, what makes this part so important is the fact that it was mass reported by groups of people tens to almost 100 miles away at the same time, which made really pressing evidence of extraterrestrial activity, because most of these incidences and phenomena that are reported are usually by the single person out in their own little cornfield.
Or like a
You know,
splinter.
crazy Jim from up the street or something is usually where that stuff comes from. But this was this was on the news live. You can go back and watch the broadcast of it, because they literally had choppers in the sky recording the same thing. Basically, what the Phoenix Lights was, the original incident was in March 13th, 1997. And over Arizona, Nevada, and even the Mexican state of Sonora, you could see an object in the sky. It was later in the evening after the sun had started to set, around 7:30 to 10:30 p.m. The outline of an image resembling an arc or a triangle shape was seen in the sky, silhouetted by what was left of the daylight as it was going away in the sky. And that was accompanied by, in some reports, 6 to 9 lights following the contours of that triangle-esque shape that was above those areas. There were many different theories to this, but most interesting is that in the 1997 original appearance of it, still to this day doesn't have a tangible explanation. It's the 2007 and 2008 sequential repeat of this event in a similar area. Both of those, though, do have been debunked. The first event in 2007 was actually a organized craft flight of military aircraft that were using new flares, and those flares were long burning and long lasting in the sky, and so they were flying formation and they dropped flares, and that's where the reappearance of this triangle formation came, but it was just lights this time. It wasn't a silhouette. In 2008, however, a similar event happened where it was attributed to actually helium balloons that were released by a civilian. For some reason, he was tying flares to these balloons and releasing them into the sky.
Huh.
How they reached the point of looking like in a formation, I believe, had to do with air
Wind patterns and stuff.
wind patterns and air currents in that altitude. There's actually a graph. If you go to the Wikipedia page, there's a wind direction data chart that shows that there's a possibility of the movement in that area, especially with the time and where it corresponds with what part of Phoenix and Arizona itself.
Yeah. Looking at this, I wonder if this has, since it happened in '97, it might have been too contemporary. But I wonder if they tried to incorporate this into like X-Files.
Oh, they had to have. I couldn't imagine being in the middle of shooting or just writing that show for newer seasons and seeing this live on
X-Files
TV.
begin in like 90? Like that time?
X-Files was early 90s, actually, so it would have been into its run. It started in 93, so it would have been well into its run by the time that event happened. And of course, it is attributed to X-Files that people's interest in extraterrestrial phenomena grew so much. I mean, you put two beautiful people on the cover of it and make it alien cops.
Duchovny?
Like, come on. Yeah, David Duchovny specifically. I mean, Gillian Anderson, sure. All right, redhead's great, but like, come on, David. Like, David's beautiful. I do encourage you looking up pictures of some of these things.
They're very interesting.
There's one newspaper photo that shows up that looks like an actual just like bridge of an A without the middle
It
part.
looks like it was cut out of the newspaper.
Yeah.
Like it looks like that section was just cut out for some reason.
That is definitely a doctored photo itself, because most of its activity was at night, where it would have been impossible to have captured a photo like that, especially at the time it was in 1997. They were still using predominantly film cameras. The digital cameras hadn't made the scene yet. I did not see if there was much information about the Phoenix Light events in 2008, or 2008 specifically, with that civilian doing it, where it might have been inspired by an anniversary of the event. But it's really fascinating. There's also a movie that came out that I recommend that's like one of those found footage sci-fi horror movies called Phoenix Down. Highly recommend checking that one out, because it's a creepy, very creepy movie. I liked it. Unfortunately, that brings us right back into the fact we have to keep this train going. So we're going to give you guys some messages real quick to get a breather from that while you're listening to these messages. Check out those lights, look at that original news report. It's fascinating stuff. And you're here on the Paranormal Express, about to take a break, on the radio voice of Kutztown University, KUR.
Programming on KUR brought to you by the students of Kutztown University Radio. I'm Mitchell Smedley with your news. Checking campus headlines, the Kutztown Folk Festival is making its in-person return July 2nd through the 10th at the Kutztown Fairgrounds. The Kutztown Folk Festival is the oldest continuously operating folklife festival in America, drawing visitors from all over the world. The festival will offer the 3 F's, food, folklore, and fun, that it has for decades, including daily entertainment on 5 different stages, food, music, and the country's largest quilt sale. Festival director Heather Zimmerman said, "We are committed to honoring our rich Pennsylvania Dutch heritage," and also mentioned some new traditions will be started this year. New aspects include a Fresh Fest market offering healthy food options, local craft beers and specially craft cocktails, There will also be more activities for children this year. Tickets for the Folk Festival can be found online via the newly redone Kutztown Folk Festival website. Exciting news for this summer. We check news hourly on KUR.
Follow KUR, Kutztown University's award-winning radio station, on Twitter to receive exciting daily content delivered straight to your newsfeed. By following us on Twitter, you'll discover diverse music, breaking news, and engaging student DJ content. Follow us at twitter.com/KU Radio. And remember to use hashtag KU Radio when tweeting about us. We are KUR, the radio voice of Kutztown University.
Welcome back, guys, gals, and non-binary pals.
We're here live on the radio voice of Kutztown University, KUR, Kutztown. This is Paranormal Express, back on board. Just hot off the press, this just in. Not this just in, this was reported in 2017. But if you're just joining us today, we're talking about aliens. And I went over the significant phenomena of the Phoenix Lights incident of 1997. I kind of finished up before we went up to break, but I just found out that a witness came forward in 2017 on a talk show in which he was promoting his role in the popular film Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Kurt Russell claims he was the pilot flying in the area above Arizona that reported the original sighting of those Phoenix Lights. He says he was taking his son to meet his girlfriend across, I believe, in California, and he said the plane's identifier name was Bonanza 2 Tango Foxtrot, which I would like to do more research to see. I'm sure other people have done it to see if that's true.
Yeah.
If there even was a report of taken down of the person who reported that, but I thought that's insane. I was not expecting to see that Kurt Russell himself, Mr. Escape from New York, was the one that did that. But that's so funny. So yeah, anyway, that was the Phoenix Light.
Yeah, I had a little correction to make as well. I misread earlier when I was talking about how they went to a different topic. It didn't. It's just the journalist who was reporting on the initial incident for the Little Green Men.
Yeah.
He changed it to Little Green Men from the Silver Ones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he changed it just because he thought it was more interesting, I guess.
Interesting. I mean, I think men made out of metal would be more interesting, but yeah, okay, Little Green Men.
Well, I think men made out of metal might have been like, they're just wearing armor.
Yeah, probably. I guess that's what it is.
Yeah. But I guess I can go into my other topic.
Yeah.
My main one, at least. The one I was initially going to start with until I brought up Fallout. But the Nibiru Cataclysm. I've been aware of this since I was very young because I read a children's book called The Person from Planet X. And I was always very interested in astronomy, even from a young age. And so I heard about Planet X from this book, and I just had it in my head. And so I just started looking things up for it at one point, and I found this. It's just been interesting to me. It's a doomsday claim that a large planetary object is going to pass by the Earth and cause a pole shift, I think, was the thing. I'm mostly talking from my memory here.
A physical pole shift that would destroy most of humanity.
Yeah, that's not what pole shifts do.
No.
Poles do shift, but pretty rarely. It can happen, from what I remember at least. But it wouldn't kill anyone, from what I know or remember. But yeah, this it was supposed to happen in, I think, 2004 originally.
Mm-hmm.
The year this was proposed was by 95. Was in 95. It was proposed. The potential date of doom was proposed by Nancy Leader on a I don't know if it's a radio talk show or no, it's a website. She had a website called Zeta Talk, and that's where you get the. That's what I was going to bring up because I mentioned that in Fallout, the aliens are called Zetas.
Mm-hmm.
And she has Zeta talk. She believed that she had been a sort of transmission device, that she was receiving messages from these aliens.
Oh my gosh, this is on TikTok right now.
Is it?
There are people on TikTok who literally believe that they can communicate by, it's the classic baloney. I'm sorry, I'm going to go off. It's this classic baloney where they sit there and they have water dribbling and a little guitar and they hit a drum like once every 10 seconds and it's frustrating. And then they just, they mash their brain with sensory overload to the point where they reach this nirvana where they think anything exists. And that's true. That happens. When you have sensory overload, your brain shuts down and you're open to, you give yourself a high. And they do this, and then they start speaking gibberish, and they believe that is actually a language, and they are communicating with celestial bodies through them, almost like spirit mediums channeling people. Not necessarily. It's just like it's just fancy TikTok.
Well, celestial bodies are planets.
Yeah.
Or moons.
But they're probably
or
using it
asteroids.
just to drive,
anything
TikTok likes.
up there.
Anything outside. Yeah.
I mean, there's
and it's funny you say that because that's coming back, and I think that's funny.
I don't think it ever really went away. It just wasn't as common.
Yeah.
Let me just make sure this is right.
That's true. That's the crazy thing. TikTok makes everything more popular because it's so easy to access all that media.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to look that up really quick. You can continue. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. But yeah, I think she even believed that she had been abducted at one point, but I don't think it says that here. If it did, I missed it. But it's very interesting. Oh, wait. Okay. So once it was 2003, by the way, the date she claimed.
Okay.
After that date passed, just because I think this is funny, Leader had said that that date was just a white lie to fool the establishment.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that's hilarious, because that's what always happens with these doomsday predictions, whenever they don't come true. Which, I mean, given that we're still here, so far none of them have come true.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. The name Nibiru, or Nibiru, I don't know how else to pronounce it, honestly. It's Nibiru. It comes from Sumerian, I think.
It's always Sumerian, isn't it?
Yeah, that's where the ancient astronauts that I was originally going to talk about as well come from, I'm pretty sure. Or Sumeria, Babylonia, stuff like that.
Fans of
Sometimes
fans of
older than that.
Ghostbusters be like,
yeah.
he talking like Egon.
Oh, there was apparently a revival in 2017. I actually didn't read this part. That's very interesting though. Oh, a Christian numerologist named David Mead tried to revive the Nibiru cataclysm by tying it to the various passages in the Bible, which has been done so many times. Why are they never right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and apparently, I guess they. Yeah, okay. So there's a fake news story apparently claiming that NASA had confirmed Nibiru's existence, but in reality, they never have confirmed it. At least not officially. If you want to believe in it, there's at least that. So apparently, Mead had claimed that on the 5th of October, I guess that year in 2017, Nibiru would arrive and eclipse the sun, and North Korea, China, and Russia would launch a combined nuclear attack on the United States. Of course, this never happened. And then, of course, the Earth would be devastated by magnitude earthquakes for some reason, I guess from the nuclear strikes, and the pole would shift by 30 degrees. I feel like these people don't understand what pole shifts are. I don't personally either, but I don't know if they work that way.
Yeah.
I haven't looked.
So we're not.
I'm not claiming they're wrong.
They're not claiming nor we're not approving nor denying.
Skeptical.
Yeah, we're skeptical, which is understandable.
Of this specific thing, at least, and that we're talking about here. As much as I do think the Fermi paradox is interesting, which I guess I could talk about the Fermi paradox at some other point. I think aliens probably do exist out there, in some extent. By the way, it's we're at 50.
Okay.
Just to let you know.
Yes, that's right. If you don't mind me interjecting that, I'm just going to go over that. Okay. So, really quick, the final message from our dear conductor for KUR on behalf of them. From the KUR Notebook, attention KU community. KUR podcasts the good sampling of our programming regularly on multiple different platforms. Some of our best talk programming can be found on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Simply open your Spotify or Apple Podcasts and search for Kutztown University Radio and listen to the Mini Great Podcast feature. Some of our older podcasted programming is still available on YouTube. Search for Kutztown University Radio to find them. Finally, some of our best music-based programming is podcasted on Mixcloud. To go to our Mixcloud page, www.mixcloud.com/KU Radio to listen on demand. Again, that's mixcloud.com/KU Radio. This message is brought to you by the radio voice of Kutztown University, KUR.
Yep. The other thing that this goes into is that, because of course Nibiru at some point was called Planet X, which is why I found it when I was a kid. Planet X was also a sort of cover name for any planet beyond Pluto, beyond the Kuiper Belt, or Neptune at the time, as well, because Neptune was at one point the last planet. At one point it was Pluto, and then it was Neptune, and now it's Pluto again, as far as I know, unless that was not true. But yeah, it's basically just a doomsday. It's a big planetary object that would disrupt the Earth. For some reason, they only talk about the Earth, but like an object that size would disrupt so many different things that we would already be aware of it well in advance before it got anywhere near us. But yes, that is essentially a lot. Well, that's most of the Nibiru stuff.
Okay.
Do you have another topic, or?
I do have another topic. I'm like trying real hard to find this video about these TikTokers, but I cannot. Okay. So maybe I'll save it for another time. Well, yeah. Or maybe it's just not appropriate to talk about on our show.
We don't have a TikTok. I can't promote from this. We do have a Spotify, though.
We do have a Spotify. Spotify listeners, love you to death. Glad you're listening. Let's plug
our specific Spotify.
Yeah.
You can find us specifically outside of the KUR Spotify. Like, you can listen there, and you can listen to other great shows there. But you can find us if you want to listen to our show specifically on Spotify. It's Paranormal Express.
Should be easy to find, hopefully. I'll go over a quick thing. I think this is really neat. So, what is that band? When I say Everlong,
Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
Of course.
You got that real fast. I was going to go for...
I'm the one who brought this topic up to
yes.
you. Because I recognize the name.
Do you ever sit there and wonder, what in the world is a Foo Fighter? Never heard of that before.
Why did they come up with that name?
Yeah, where did that name come from? Well...
I wonder if it was this, actually, though.
Yeah, I'm not going to 100% confirm that this is exactly what it is. We just know that it's got a lot of correlation that I can think of.
This thing is a pretender. Is it? I don't know, actually. I didn't look into this.
I mean, it is possible. A few of the theories about what it was is Pretender, yeah.
Are they not like the others?
Yeah, it's just another one, honestly. So the term Foo Fighter was actually was used by Allied aircraft pilots during World War II to describe various UFOs or mysterious aerial phenomena seen in the skies over both the European and Pacific theaters of operations, quoted from Wikipedia. There were many reports, and not just from Allied sides, but also Axis sides, about these phenomena, especially from aircraft in the sky, of these strange, in most accounts, it seemed to be just like spontaneous balls of fire that would fly downwind or alongside aircraft as they're flying in formation, or if they're flying to locations, and without really any rhyme or reason, nor in any specified pattern. Sorry, what time are we at?
54. That's why I did the 5-4.
Okay. So it's fascinating. Some of them were fireballs, and they were reported from many different Allied forces, even like notable senators at the time that were fighting. And as recently as 2021, January 26th of 2021, by Pakistan International Airlines, they spotted a Foo Fighter. So I think it got to the point where Foo Fighter exceeded the actual description, being that it was an unidentified. It's just like an unidentified flying object reported by people flying aircrafts.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't say that this is exactly where Foo Fighters got their name from, but it is fascinating. Some explanations. One of the theories I saw was it's called a Führerball, which was a German-designed object that was propelled and controlled and was on fire. Basically, they created a synthetic comet and could use it as an anti-air device and things like that. But to explain them flying, like one person reported that it would start and stop and it would follow with it.
Yeah.
So it's almost impossible to understand that there's technology like that at that time.
By the way, where I found it before I told you about it, it's under the category on ufology about types of UFO.
Okay.
So yes, it is a UFO.
So just it's not like this is okay. And the name Foo, it's a nonsense word that was coined in the 1930s, and then they just used that in relation to that. So anyway, yeah, I think that's about time we have to wrap this up.
Yes.
Definitely, I crammed that in there last minute. There's too much to talk about aliens, so you can expect
a lot of these topics that we
repeat.
cover, there's so much.
Yeah, so you can definitely expect another episode of Aliens. This was really fun, honestly, to talk about. So thank you so much for listening to the Paranormal Express here on the radio voice of Kutztown University, KUR. Make sure you check out all of our socials on Twitter and Instagram as well. Just search up Paranormal Express, and I think there's Paranormal EXP.
Paranormal_EXP is our @ on Twitter.
On
And
Twitter.
our, I think the @ for Instagram is paranormal_express_podcast.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you guys so much. Have a great night.